Okay, good morning, everyone. So it's Sunday morning. I'm on my way to church, and I want to just give an update. The text got back to me pretty late last night, and they let me know that they were able to recover nearly everything. So I'm out of the woods on that. All my clients' work and everything, they've all been restored. Unfortunately, the SaveNJShopsWebsite.com, that was not restored because it was such a new site. The last backup took place right before the site went up. But I do have an archive of all of the content, the articles, and of course I have all the graphics and everything else. So it's just a matter of just launching a new site, just loading the content in. I mean, we're looking at probably a couple days to get that back. So let me take the opportunity to get into everyone's head what is going on here. So one of the issues that I noticed, and I'm a business consultant, so that's what I do for a living. I help businesses kind of realize what they're doing wrong, and I kind of guide them down the path. So showing up to these groups, there's tons of great people. Everybody's got the right idea. Everyone's on the same page. We're all in agreement, and that's great. The problem is that we don't realize that business owners don't know what we know when they show up. So when they show up to the groups and say, hey, I'm a business owner, I want to reopen, everyone's response is, well, hey, it's your right. Look at the Constitution. Just reopen already. That's like the number one thing that I hear people saying to businesses. What are you waiting for? Just reopen already. That easy, right? Well, we've seen businesses do that, and they got shut right back down. Here's an example. There was a church, I forget the name of the church, my pastor told me about it. They reopened quietly. They thought, well, we'll just keep it under the radar. We don't want to get a bunch of people out in the parking lot waving flags and putting things on YouTube. We'll just do it quietly. Yep. And the police quietly walked in their doors and said, you're all to vacate now or be arrested. And the police quietly shut them down. That's what happens when you reopen without a plan and you do so quietly. Now, Atilis Gym, they did it the other way. I think Frank said that they took weeks of just planning. They planned everything. They planned every single contingency. And they reopened with a plan. And their plan is great because the sanitization and social distancing guidelines that they've established exceed every other business that's out there. So is what they did was they took the argument of, well, it's going to be dangerous for your health to go exercise there. They took that argument off the table. The governor can't make that argument. I mean, he does anyway, but the only people that believe that argument are people that are ignorant. And most of us are not ignorant anymore. People are awake in this state and this country. So is what's happening is as Murphy fights this gym tooth and nail, he's being exposed. I don't even think he even realizes he's being exposed. That's the funny thing about it. But he's being exposed. Anyone with a brain can look at that gym and look at what's happening to them and say, okay, this shutdown is not about health. It's about something else. It's obvious. It's genius. So I had an opportunity in the past couple days to really sit down and dig through, Frank Trombetti's head and Ian Smith's head to find out, what's going on. Why are we not being more successful? Why are more businesses not opening? And Frank told me, number one, they're scared. We talked about the June 1st mass reopening that was supposed to take place, which ended up being a big flop. I think maybe 2 or 3 people might have reopened, and that was about it. They were scared. Why were they scared? They didn't have a roadmap. They didn't know, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. I learned this many, many years ago when I first got into the business of marketing. where I would market for clients, and then we would all sit there at the meeting table and say, well, what's going on? Why? I don't understand why they're not buying the product. Why are they not signing up? I mean, do they not see how great this is? I mean, it's a no-brainer. And then we start to realize, wait a minute, we're operating off of our knowledge, not theirs. We have to operate from the position of the business owner that doesn't know anything. That is what SaveNJShops.com is for, okay? Number one, when we get it back up and get enough people in the forums, we're going to start throwing business owners into there where they can sign up. They can get into the forum, and a business owner goes into the forum and he posts an introduction. Hey, my name is Joe and I operate, whatever. I operate a restaurant. I want to reopen indoors and all this and everything. And what do I do? And then what happens is a whole bunch of activists respond to that specific topic and say, hey, okay, we got these resources, and have a look at this page and read this article, all these things on the sites. Are you concerned with social distancing? Well, we have downloadable packets that you can download and print out for you and your staff. You want a sign on your front door about masks and social distancing and everything else? We have that. You can just go and just download it. Oh, and work with us and strategize on a reopening. And then we'll plan a reopening rally where we all show up, we put the event online because the site has its own events module where we can actually post events, put the thing online, go out there with our bullhorns and our flags and our smartphones, and we'll hold a successful reopening rally, and we'll bring potential media coverage, and we bring numbers. That's the key, is the numbers. There's safety in numbers. You can't expect these businesses to just reopen. It doesn't work that way. If we do that without giving people a roadmap, we're actually being irresponsible, and we're basically just asking them to cause problems for themselves and then to just be reclosed a day or two later. So SaveNJShops.com, it's a site for news when it comes to reopening businesses and saving New Jersey businesses. It's a site where activists and business owners can connect, exchange ideas, plan. Also, there's networking, business to business networking. Hey, if you're a business, you need some business cards printed. Don't go to Vistaprint. Don't go to the big companies. Take your money away from them. Go to ABC Printing down the street. This guy, he's reopening. Have him do your cards. Get another small business owner to provide services that you need. Stop giving the big companies your money. That's another aspect of the website. Because after the reopening, it's not just about that. There's going to come a point where everything's going to be reopened. Are we done? A lot of us might think, oh yeah, everything's good. When everything's reopened, we're done. We can go back to normal life. No, I say we're not done. I say we're not done. And the reason why I say we're not done at that point is because big businesses have forgotten. They've forgotten the small business owner. They don't care. Walmart doesn't care about you. Target doesn't care about you. Okay? Please understand that. You've got Attila's Gym. They've been reopened because they've been deemed essential because they sell food. But I can't go in there and get a workout. They have to take their equipment outside. But when I go to Walmart, how much you don't want to bet I can go to the sporting goods section, I can grab one of those dumbbells, and I could just start doing a workout right in the aisle. I bet you I won't be arrested. I bet you Walmart won't be arrested either. That's hypocrisy. Does Walmart have a problem with that? Is Walmart taping off their sporting goods section in solidarity? Of course not. No, they want your money. They're loving it. They love that people are going to their stores. I couldn't imagine how much their sales has just skyrocketed, while small business owners are being choked out by this tyrant, Governor Murphy. So we need to not forget that. And we need to use this site as a catalyst to continue to support small businesses, even after the reopenings, to continue to launch marketing campaigns. Stop giving your money to big box. Give it to small shops. Different things like that. Because if we don't stop this whole thing with small businesses being choked out, capitalism is going to die. And then we're going to be subject to these large corporations who are going to want to sell us a bunch of junk that's imported from outside the United States, isn't even made by Americans, at high prices. So here's what we need. We need people to get into their head, all the activists, you got to get it into your head that the business owners don't know what we know. Stop treating them like they do. The Facebook groups are great, and they should continue, and this is not to take away from them in any kind of way. But for a business owner, those Facebook groups are a nightmare. You show up and there's no organization. It's just a timeline of just all these random posts, all these random ideas. It doesn't work. Business owners don't work like that. So we need people to be ready to join the forums, to get in there and post information, post ideas, post memes, to go out on the internet. Even a couple people started doing those. Do anything you can. We need that forum buzzing with people. Because if we send business owners in there, and by the way, the people that are funding this whole thing, they have thousands of dollars waiting on marketing campaigns. But they're waiting. They're waiting for that forum to be filled up. And they've made it clear that there will be no money if it's an empty forum. They're not going to do it. They're not going to send a bunch of business owners to an empty room with nobody in it. And they're not going to send business owners to an empty room with 5 people in it. They know it's going to be a failure, and there's not going to be any reason for them to spend the last bit of their money, because that's what they're doing. They're spending the last bit of their money, because these are companies that work with other businesses. Their customers are small businesses, and they've realized that if we don't do something, we're going to be out of business. So get that into your head. Think about what you can do. You know, if anybody wants to write articles, post in the forums, because that's another thing. We're going to be looking for people that are good writers. And we'll be watching the forums, and there's going to be times where we're going to approach people on the forums and say, hey, I like what you're writing. Here's the keys. We want you to write articles. We want you to write news. We want you to go out there with your smartphones and capture news and put it up on our YouTube for all to see. So, a roadmap, a plan, resources. That's what this site is about. Networking. It's about networking, bringing people together in an organized fashion, not a timeline on a Facebook group with a bunch of random posts just running up the page. It's not organized. And this is why the site was hacked. The site was hacked because the site is privately owned, privately leased by a company that I own. So if somebody wants to take something down, they have to come through me. I'm the one who has the authority to shut anything down on that server. Nobody else, except for, if somebody were to get a court order. That's why it was shut down, because it can't be censored by Facebook or Google or anyone else. And they didn't like that, and that's why they deployed a very skilled hacker. We don't know who the hacker is, but there is some information on who it might be. And we do have information on how the hack took place. We've traced the origin of the hack. We know how they got the information to log into the site. They tried to cover their tracks, and they were not successful. They were not able to delete the raw logs, the raw activity logs. They tried to delete them, and those logs were captured by us before they were able to do that. So this was not random. This was a specific and directed attack. And the reason why it was a directed attack is because they realized we do not want this site to succeed. We can't allow this site to continue, because the people of New Jersey are going to get way too organized, and we're going to lose. So if that's not enough to tell you just how important this initiative is in getting this site up and running and getting it buzzing with people, if that's not enough, nothing will. And you might as well just go about your business and do whatever go play your PlayStation 4 or do whatever else you need to do. So that's all I got to say. If anybody has any ideas, any rebuttals, anything, just comment on this video. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to this channel, this YouTube channel. Luckily, this hasn't been taken down, but who knows? And stay strong out there, people. And I will have another update as soon as I know more.